how I knitted this really cute top t-shirt. It's really easy pattern, so if you'd like to see how I did it, just keep on watching. So first, here is the yarn that I used and the needles I used. I used circular needle that is 4mm, and here is the yarn. So now let's start. I have my needle, and I used 2 different needles because one is longer than the other. So I think this was about 20 centimeters or maybe 40. It doesn't really matter. Just if you have a shorter one, just start with that. So now here we're just going to start off with casting all our stitches. So I just pull out some yarn here, as you can see, and then I'm gonna make a knot like this, and then I'm just gonna start casting on my stitches. And here I will show you how I do that. This is the way I have learned to cast on stitches. So you can see here in the corner how many stitches you're going to need, depending on what size you want to make. So this one color, and I'm making a medium, so I'm gonna do 130 and 36. So now here I have all of my stitches, and I'm just gonna start knitting, and we're going to do rib edge and knitting round, of course. So we do 1 knit stitch, and then we do 1 purl stitch, and then you just repeat that all the way around. So just do a knit and a purl. Like this. So just continue doing this all the way around. Just knit and purl stitch. So now I finished the first round, and I'm just going to continue in this pattern. So we just do knit stitch above knit stitch and purl above purl. Like this, you can see the rows. So this one is going to look like. So just continuing doing this for a couple of rows. This is about 4 centimeters wide, long. Here it's a little under 4 centimeters. So when you're done with this, we're going to put some threads in it. And you can see here I'm doing a medium, so I have 24 as my sleeves and 48 as the front and 40 as the back. So you can see in the corner where you need to mark where you have your threads in. You go ahead and do that. So now here I'm just going to knit over to my longer needle. It is the same thickness. And now we just do knit stitches. And you can see I start my round with one of my marking threads. And with these 4 threads, that is where we're going to be doing increases. So now here in the first round, I'm just going to knit every stitch. So we're not going to do any increases or decreases. I'm just going to do a knit stitch in every stitch to get it over to my longer knitting needle. Just go ahead and finish the first round. Just gonna ignore the frets, just knit all the stitches. So here you can see there's not as many stitches left. I'm just gonna show you how you're going to finish it when you're knitting over to another needle. Just like that. So that's actually really easy. So now we're going to start with the increases. This is what it looks like. So this is where our round start. And I'm just going to go a couple of stitches left because I'm going to start my round just before the first increase. So what I do is I yarn over like this, and then I go into the next stitch and knit it like that, and then I yarn over, and so I do the same twice like this. So you can see those two loops where we just yarn over, those are going to be 2 new stitches. I'm just going to knit over to the next marking thread just to show you once again. So when you get to a thread, you're going to make an increase before the thread like this, and then over the thread, if that makes sense, like this. So those 2 loops are the new 2 stitches. So this thread is marking the middle row. I hope that makes sense. It will make sense when we're done a couple of centimeters, then you can see the pattern more clear. So now I finished with the first round. I did increases with the other 2 markers again. If you find it difficult, just go ahead and watch it again, what I did. Now I'm going to show you how to knit the new stitches. So you're gonna go into it like I'm doing here. It can be a bit difficult, and then you just pull the yarn through like that, and then you have made a new stitch. And again, just like that. So when we do these increases, we're going to do yarn over in every other line. We're gonna yarn over and do 2 new stitches in every other row, and then in the next row we're going to knit the 2 new stitches so they become a stitch and not just a loop. Oh, here I'm just gonna show you again. Just kind of try to go into it and then just pull the yarn through. Like that. So this is what it's gonna look like. You have this 1 stitch in the middle and 2 new stitches on each side. Now I'm gonna do it with the other 2 threads and just finish the row. That. So now the row is done. So now we're just going to make 2 knit stitches again. So here I'm going to just, this is the middle, so this is marking where the new stitch is going to be beside that row. So here I just knitted the new stitch, yarn over, knit the middle stitch, yarn over, and knit the next stitch. So we're just doing the same like this. So this is what it's going to look like. This right here is going to be in the middle, and there's going to be new stitches on each side. Like this. So you just go back and watch it again if you find it a bit difficult how to do it because you're just doing the same over and over. So when you're done, it's gonna look like this, and I'm doing a medium, so I have 352 stitches, and I did increases 72 times. So this is what it looks like. So now I'm going to take the stitches off. That's going to be the sleeves, and that was the stitches that started to be 24 stitches. So that is what I have here, and I have a needle and a thread on it. So here I'm just going into the stitches. So this section is going to be the sleeve. Going to be very clear in a moment how it's going to look. You're just going to put them onto a thread, so we can just hold on to them for a moment, and then we can knit them later. Just like that. Now I'm just gonna tie a knot just to secure it. Just like this. So that is going to be the sleeve. Now we're going to make some new stitches, and we're going to make 5. And here is how I do that. And I make 5 for every size. And then I can just continue knitting here over to the back side. So now we have actually just removed all of the sleeve stitches, so we can just go into knit round. Well, this was the first sleeve, like this. So now I'm gonna knit over to the other sleeve, and then I'm gonna do the same as I just showed you. Just put all of these stitches onto a thread and make 5 new stitches in between, and then you can knit over to where our round started, like this. So now you can see that it looks like a t-shirt, and now we're just going to be knitting round. So now we have actually done the difficult part of this pattern. Now you're just going to knit round and round and round until you have the length you want. So yeah, just go ahead and knit round and round and round. So here I'm just going to show you how to knit the 5 new stitches where we did under the arm, under the sleeve. So it can be a bit difficult because they're going to be really tight. So you just have to be careful when you do these stitches the first time. See, I just lost one. It's really easy that they fall off. So you're just gonna make it again. And it falls off again. So as you can see, it can be a bit difficult, but it's not impossible. Like this. So now they're just normal stitches, and they're not going to be difficult to knit the next time you get to them. So just go ahead and do this on the other 5 new stitches, and then you can just knit around and around until you have the length that you want. So just go ahead and knit long, long, long. So here, this is mine, and I'm still making a medium, and mine is about 30 centimeters long. So I make a medium, so I'm going to make 14 increases. we're just gonna make one round with increases. So we're gonna do the same as when we did in the beginning. So I'm just going to yarn over and knit the next stitch, just like this. So I'm just gonna do this in this entire round until I have done it 14 times. Just like that. Just go ahead and finish this round, and in the next round we're going to knit our new stitches, which was where we yarned over. You can see I have one right here. So we do this at the same time as we did it in the beginning. Just try to go into the stitch and pull the yarn through like that. So we create a new stitch. And then also you want to knit rib stitch now. So you're going to do one purl and one knit stitch just for this entire round, and do that while you'll be knitting your new stitches. So just go ahead and do that for the rest of the row, and then you're just going to make about 4 centimeters of rib edge, and then you're just going to close the stitches. And now we're going to knit the sleeves. Here you can see I've knitted one of the sleeves, and now I'm going to show you how to knit the other one. So this was where I started. So here I have a short needle, 20 centimeters, and I'm just going to go into these stitches just to grab them before I pull out the thread. Like this. So now we can knit the stitches. So now here I'm just gonna make a little knot, because we're going to attach the yarn. And then I just pull the knot through. Just like that. So now here, this is where we did the 5 new stitches, and we're also going to gather up some new stitches here. Just kind of pull the yarn through to create some loops. So I have 7 new stitches, because we're going to close 2 of them in the next round. But now we're just going to knit these stitches, and we just do knit stitches. Just go ahead and knit this round until here, to where we attach the yarn. So here I'm just going to close 2 and 2 stitches, and we do this so we doesn't get any gaps. So these 2 I'm going to knit together by just going into both of them and just pulling the yarn through, so we make 2 loops onto 1 loop, and then I just knit these 4 stitches, and then I do it again like this. So now we can just go ahead and knit the rest of the sleeves. It's just so we close these little gaps there will be. So I'm just going to show you the sleeve that I've already made. So I'm just making mine a t-shirt length, so it's totally up to you how long you want your sleeve to be. So I'm going to knit about 3.5 centimeters of just knit stitches, and then I'm going to make 4 centimeters of rib edge, and then I'm just going to close the stitches. So first here, just going to make the knit stitches. So yeah, just go ahead and do that. Make your sleeve as long as you want it to be, and then just close the stitches, and then your